Hello, so today I'm going to be talking to you about how life is a plane. You might be like, okay, the person with pink hair, really weird girl is telling me life is a plane. But yes, life is not a physical plane, but life acts like a plane. So the most important thing is that you have to understand what a plane is. Of course, a plane is not the best drawer, by the way, but a plane is a way to transport one to somewhere, and it's an enclosed space. And then there's a seat, and that seat is where you will seat yourself. And then there's the world. So the world is where the plane travels, so that's you traveling inside. And the plane, it resembles the world because it's an enclosed space filled with different types of people. So first of all, the seat, right? Within a plane, you get there, you have your ticket, and you sit down. When you sit down, you have a seat for yourself, an individual seat. And this is where you have to think about your individuality and who you are in the world. What's your mission? Where are you going? Your goal, right? So that's your seat. That's who you are. That's where you are. Then next to you in this way, you have people such as your friends and your family. Of course, not all the time, but most of the time, the people who are next to you will be friends or family. They are people who will guide you when the plane is moving a lot through turbulence or when the plane has finally landed and reached its destination, its goal. The people next to you are the ones that will help you in the toughest and in the easiest parts of your life, of your whole travel. Because if you think about it, your life is just like an airplane going somewhere. When it finally arrives somewhere, when the goal is achieved, then the trip is over and it's time to begin a new one. So the plane, what else? In a plane, the people that are not sitting next to you, but instead are sitting in front of you in the big column, those are the people that you will meet throughout your life. And they can be good people or bad people. So if they're good people or bad people, that depends. And this can be similar to airplane food. When you get on an airplane, you can be lucky enough to have good food or bad food. And this has a lot to do with luck. But the people that you will meet throughout your life in that big column, they can be bad or good or bad. But all the time, just like airplane food, once you eat it, you know when you should not eat it again. So if you know that you got sick the time you ate airplane food from a certain flight, you will know not to eat that food anymore. Therefore, it's important to note that if you met someone that was negative for you and affected your life, you will not have a relationship with them anymore, or you will know how to protect yourself from those types of people. But it can also go otherwise. If you meet good people, if you have good food in the plane, then you will simply know that you will order again. You'll want to meet more people like that. You'll want to have more food like that. So then, there's also the idea of cabinets. Okay, cabinets. So cabinets. In a plane, there's cabinets. So there's the cabinets that are on top of you, where most of the bags are stored, and the little cabinets that one puts there, where the magazines are. So I'm going to try to do a drawing, even though I'm not the best drawer, to show you what I'm talking about. So this is the seat right here. Okay. So this here is your seat, and then here is where all the magazines go. And then you have on top of your seat, one always has this type of cabinet where the big bags are stored. So here it's similar to life. Why? Because one should be able to divide their material. So in the top cabinet, this one, which is the biggest one where your bags go, you have to store all your emotions and your non-materialistic things. There is where your emotions, your feelings, your happiness, all types of things that are non-materialistic go. All the positivity in your life should be superior, should be the most important thing. And then it's also important to have certain materialistic things that are not essential but are needed sometimes, or simply are something that some people can have and benefit from all the time when they're not unhealthy for them. And where all the magazines are stored, those are the places where one has to store the material things. But they have to keep a balance, because if you store the opposite way, if you store all your materialistic things on top and your non-materialistic things on the bottom, that eventually you can run out of the top. You can have no more materialistic things. Your bags can get lost in the flight, but your emotions, they will never get lost because they're within yourself and you're in that flight. So then we have the cabinets, we already said. The seats, okay. Then we have the seat belts. So when you're sitting down by yourself in your seat, you have a seat belt. And that seat belt is there for protection, but it's also a barrier in a way. It's an obstacle. And you yourself are the only person responsible or the only person that's able to break that obstacle. You have to open your seat belt and be able to pass the limit of a certain seat belt that's enclosing you to a certain space. So once you do that, it's up to you, to yourself in that individual seat, to decide to leave that certain area and go explore or go do something that's not breaking you from doing something you want to do. So this is a seat belt, and the seat belt has to be broken by the person in the seat in order for their goals to be achieved. You have to break your obstacles in order to achieve your goal. So then we also have the people who are in the plane. The people who are in the plane are the captains and the ladies or the men who help serve the food, serve your drinks, and who help you, right? And those are the people that will guide you. They will act as your mentors in life. And you will always have mentors, no matter where you go. You will have a mentor, for example, from teachers to parents to your yoga instructor to absolutely everybody can be a mentor in one's life. And everybody has a mentor. Some people haven't found them yet, or some people simply haven't met them yet. You know, I think that's the same thing. But some people just don't know that they have a mentor when they do. And some people know they have a mentor and they work with their mentor. So the captains, they guide us through life. The mentors, they help us get to our goal and achieve and know what we want to do. Eventually, one will be able to become one's own mentor. And that's very important. When one achieves one's own mentor, they will be able to know how to fly their own plane. And then there is the big storage of the bags, which is underneath the plane. And that's the baggage. That's everything that you do not need in your life to succeed. Everything that's stopping you from reaching your goal, or everyone who's stopping you. It's all the negative energy that's stored. That's why it's baggage. It's underneath, it's under you. And you have to make sure that you're not in charge of it. The person who is in charge of that would be the airline in this case. They're taking care of your big bags, while you just have to worry about the ones on the top cabin, which are your emotional ones. And then finally, we have what we know as the lights, right? So there's always lights that are kind of in the hallway of the plane on the floor, like this. I don't know if you can see that correctly. Or there's exit doors. And that's all there just in case of an emergency. So when something seems to go wrong in your life, there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, wait, stop, let's redo this. Let's begin this. Let's apologize. You take an emergency door, you follow an exit. You do what you do in case of an emergency in a plane. And that's when you know that you did something wrong, you recognize it, or that something wrong was done to you, and you recognize it. And you have to fight for what was right, or fight for what you did wrong, and then you assume your responsibility, or you assume the responsibility of something done towards you. And that's when you understand that you have to follow the instructions of the exit door. You have to begin again. And that happens a lot of times when you're trying to reach your goal, you try to begin again. And then finally, I already said finally, but I'm going to repeat finally, the other thing that's important in planes is that there's windows. And windows, why are they important? Well, the windows, they let us see beyond of what we can actually see. The windows means that we have to be open-minded and be able to embrace different types of things found within our lives. We have to be able to understand different people who are going through different situations and belong in different places. And then if you notice the plane, I'm not sure if I said this, but the plane, it's divided into different social classes, just like the world. It's divided into first class, then into middle class, and then I think economy. I'm not sure what they're called. But they're divided into different types of classes. And unfortunately, that's something that in the world, it occurs a lot. And depending of where you're seated or of who you are, If you're seated in first class, you will not have the same type of division as someone sitting in economy. You have to make sure you're open-minded and see through your windows to understand the different types of social divisions within the world. And you have to be able to recognize them no matter what. And the last and final, and I promise final thing, is that within a plane there's fuel. For the plane to work, to function, there is gasoline or diesel, I'm not sure what they use. But it's for the plane to be able to function and work. And I'm sorry this video is so long, but to function and work. And what happens is that you are responsible for the energy and the type of oil or gasoline that you're running your plane with. If you are a person who does not want to run their plane will not run. You will not arrive to the destination you want to. But if you're a person that wants to get somewhere and wants to run somewhere, they can. But it takes one simple thing. Energy, motivation, more than one simple thing. Energy, motivation, hope, and hard work. That's how you achieve your goal, and that's how life is able to resemble an airplane. It's not just any type of transportation, it's an aerial one. Thank you.